Hello, welcome to a video where we are going to take a look at another matchup in round number 5 of my Master League Mega Tournament. Let's take a look at two well-known battlers here. TomahawkUK, one of the best battlers from, surprise, the UK. And we have Innerbloom on the right, one of the best players of Australia. We see quite a different teams here. We see on the left that Swampert Lugia core paired with a Genesect. And we see on the right Mewtwo Landorus, Giratina Origin, and something we haven't seen yet, Mega Altaria, which I somewhat like for its typing, but it's actually more fragile than you might think. Let's take a look at the first set here. We have the Florges into the Giratina, which is a terrible lead for Innerbloom. He's swapping into that Mewtwo, but he's packing Flamethrower here. It's answered by the Genesect. Does Tomahawk shield this? If it's... Oh my goodness, he calls it. If this was a Flamethrower, this one-shots. But now it doesn't. Side Strike is resisted, but 2 will take out. Looks like Innerbloom is going to get at least a shield here still. But Genesect will outpace to another X here, and that will mean that Genesect will take this matchup between itself and the Mewtwo. Mewtwo is basically somewhat of his best answer to Innerbloom. I think the other one being Giratina, as we see the lineups on the from Innerbloom. Barely doesn't get the Side Strike off too. Very unfortunate. He basically grabbed his strongest Pokemon against the Genesect, and we see some lag there from Tomahawk, unfortunately. Freezing as he tries to throw the X scissor. Innerbloom waited for a little bit, but looks like it's working again for Tomahawk, so that's nice. Another X scissor coming through. This Genesect will get to a third one even. Yep, there we go. There's a few more Fury Cutters sneak in. How do you win this at this point? There's like there's 2 full Pokemon of Tomahawk in the back, and Innerbloom has 1. In comes this Mega Swampert. This Meteor Mash is resisted, strong move, but only resisted on Swampert. Still does a decent chunk, then goes into Giratina. This is tough for Innerbloom because Florges is still in the back lurking there. Tomahawk going for the bait here. Does Innerbloom shield this? If this was an Earthquake, it will do a ton of damage. But it looks like he does respect it. Only a Hydro. And looks like Innerbloom did throw his move as well. So that forces Tomahawk to shield as well, because his Shadow Ball will do a lot. And you don't want your flower Pokemon on that Metagross. Yeah, here it is. Shadow Ball will do... I won't take it out. We'll do like 50%, I would say so. This Moonblast would do a lot of damage though. Super effective damage. No attack drop. We haven't seen it a lot yet with the Moonblast in this tournament. At least not in the featured battles. No Protect Shields remaining. Shadow Ball comes through. So put Florges into the red. Actually does about 40%. Not as much. Florges is actually a very respectable Pokemon in Master League, which is why we see it every single time. Look at that. Doesn't take it out just yet. And Tomahawk didn't attack there. Was hoping to get some farm on the Swampert. This actually gets close now. I'm not sure if that was necessary per se. Earthquake comes through. I don't think this will KO the Swampert. It will get close. Swampert hangs on. Can it build 2 Hydros here? It actually farms down at this point. And going for the Hydro on the CMP against this Giratina. Despite having that lag where the Metagross snuck like 3 fast moves or so, I would say. 3 or 4. Still manages to clutch out that win here. Very well played from Tomahawk. Battle number 2. Let's see if Innerbloom can deal with that Genesect this time. And Innerbloom does get the lead that he wants here, but he has no answer to this Gyarados swap in. Yeah, that's kind of tough that he has no. He's basically his best answer is that let me do the screen a little bit correct. His best answer is an Altaria, but he didn't bring it. And I think Innerbloom knows that the Altaria is a risky Pokemon to bring when there's something like Genesect that will be everywhere. I wouldn't say it's terrible, though, but it's also just not super great. And after weakening the Gyarados, this is only an Aqua Tail, looks like Innerbloom knows. He's confident enough to bring in that Mewtwo. If the Genesect comes in, he can Flamethrower something. So I think... Innerbloom might be in an okay spot here. Still has a lot of leftover energy. Tries to get a little bit more farm here. But that Side Strike already did so much. Now let's see. I think if you get... Ooh. And now he does decide to shield. This is the second game. I put these in order. So this is the first time Tomahawk actually saw it, because look at that. He would have gotten, if Innerbloom baited here, he would have gotten to a flamethrower again. There's only a side strike. Tomahawk knows. Lets that go. So hard swaps into the Giratina for the combo play, knowing he would otherwise lose CMP and have to shield to get smooth off as well. So I love this play from Innerbloom. But we also see in the back the Mega Swampert from Tomahawk. And you know what doesn't like Mega Swampert? It's that Metagross. Technoblast coming in will take out this Giratina and swaps into that Swampert immediately. Basically, Innerbloom always bringing that Mewtwo and the Giratina to answer both the Swampert and the Genesect. Just can't really... he had the alignment kind of, but then the Gyarados was unchecked, because Gyarados is also good against Innerbloom, right? Gyarados can beat Mewtwo, can beat Landorus, can beat Giratina, can beat Dragonite, can beat Metagross. So makes perfect sense. Tomahawk brings that every single time. That with the Mega Swampert and the Genesect is just really tough to deal for Innerbloom. Now, is he going to bring that Mega Altaria? Because you're two already down at this point. Let's see if he can salvage one little point here. There's the Mega Altaria. A fantastic lead for Innerbloom, but this time he didn't bring a Genesect answer. He didn't bring the Giratina this time, so kind of tough. Giratina is also so an answer, because super effective Technoblast would do a lot, but looks like Innerbloom just going to bring in that Mewtwo. Tomahawk at this point can just double shield, take switch advantage easily here, and he does have the Lugia in the back, which is much better against that Altaria. Though, it's also not the best, but let's take a look. X-Scissor is shielded here. Gonna go for that flamethrower probably, because you only get to one charge move. Trying to CMP with Tomahawk's Genesect, but Genesect is just slicing through his Mewtwo here. Yeah, and it still has so much energy. In the back we see the Dragonite from Innerbloom, and man, this is difficult. Let's see, does he shield this move? This Technoblast doesn't shield it. And it one-shots the Altaria. It goes down. That's what I mean with Altaria being pretty fragile. You'd think that regular Altaria is bulky, so the Mega will be too. It's not that bulky. Let's see. In comes the first Technoblast here. It does get shielded by Innerbloom. At this point, you have to pray there's Swampert in the back, but we see in the back there is no Swampert. And Innerbloom, I guess, forgot to count the Genesect's Fury Cut is here. Now another Technoblast comes through, double super effective, and he knows he's just quitting the recording right away. So very unfortunate for Innerbloom there. We see another pretty tough matchup because of that Genesect. There's no fire type on the left side from Innerbloom, so Genesect just ran wild. Gyarados ran wild. Swampert always in a good place. So thank you both for playing in the tournament. Thank you both for submitting these battles, and like the video.